one.
We're in the Ennui podcast! Finally!
Oh my god.
Holy shit! I'm on the Ennui podcast.
I should probably turn on my camera.
Oh,
I was just thinking that as well.
Yeah, that would probably help.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking see your luscious locks.
Yeah.
Your
It'd
big,
be helpful for a video podcast, like
Your
that's how I'm trying to
BBC.
promote it as. Very funny.
He's here! He's finally Ennui!
There he is. This is me. So, I here's the thing, right? So we started the whole burger on Ennui meme.
Burger Ennui.
And you did it, but I was I was fucking disgusted by whatever that thing that you brought on was, because it did not look like a burger.
No, the
It
guy
didn't look
holding
like it. It looked like fucking garbage. I don't know what kind of burgers you guys sell in Aussie land, but I got this from McDonald's, okay? I specifically went to McDonald's for this podcast to buy this fucking burger. And yeah, here he is. I wanted to get an actual burger on Ennui.
He looks beautiful.
Just say I did it. I gave him little googly eyes. And this is just for you.
Thank you for manifesting that, Doplex. Can you
Yeah,
make
of
him say his
course.
iconic quote?
Yeah. Hold on.
Can Doplex push the soundboard at the same time?
Hey, I'm really happy to be here finally. I've heard a lot about you, Matthew Winter, to be honest. And when I got a look at you, I was like, oh, he looks kind of sickly. Does he have some kind of like weird prostate cancer? But I figured I'd give it a shot and come on here. So yeah, thanks for having me. Ooh, this is him smiling.
No, Doplex, can you now punch the burger as hard as you can?
I sure can. This will be us putting this meme to bed. All right, let me just get him nice and prepped here. Okay. All right. There's burger fucking debris flying all over my office right now.
It's good that you've got a dog.
Yeah.
And
Thanks
a pug.
for having me on, Mr. Ennui.
Rest in fucking pepperoni. The burger meme has finally come full circle and then died.
Yeah, it has.
In
And now it's
record
all
time.
over my stool, in my carpet, in my hands.
Well, it was going to be stalled in one way or another, so I suppose that expedites the process somewhat.
Right.
Well, anyway.
So anyway, how you guys doing?
Is that the podcast? Are we done?
Yeah, that's it.
Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I really don't, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I really don't want this podcast anymore. I thought I'd put it to bed. I brought the fucking burger on like you wanted.
Oh, we didn't watch it, so I wouldn't know that.
No, nobody fucking watched it. No one.
I skimmed, to be honest with you. I just skimmed waiting for burger. And then what I saw, like, fucking made my eyes bleed, and I was upset.
Doplex skimmed
this is
every episode since we brought it up. That's like 60 Ennui episodes.
Yeah, just waiting for Precious Burger to come on.
And Burger
he
did
never
come
came
on.
on.
He came on.
Well, no, that doesn't count. Okay, you brought some fucking
How does that not
slop
count?
sandwich. They didn't look like a burger. There was no semblance of burger in there.
Bun, patty in the middle. That's a fucking burger, if you ask me.
Burger.
That looked like mad cow disease personified. That was like fucking awful looking.
I think what we really wanted out of this was like just you talking to a burger, but not
That is
with
exactly
anyone
what we
puppeting
wanted.
it.
Yeah.
Like you join a call. Have you ever watched those podcasts where it's just one dude talking to himself? I never got that. I guess that's just streaming.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. I don't know. Like, cause a lot of comedians do it as well.
Yeah.
And then it's like the whole thing with like because of COVID, they couldn't do stand up, etc. And they just try to do the same thing. It just doesn't really feel.
Well, one of
you're
your
waiting for the
idols,
laugh.
Chris D'Elia, that's his podcast. He just sits there and just talks like to the void, which is like kind of weird when it's not like, at least with streaming, there is someone there that's like in your chat.
Yeah.
Like they're not
Well, you
in your
can't
ear,
see
but
it, but there's There's like a big group of adolescent girls sitting on the other side of the
Oh,
room,
that's
and
right.
he's
Yeah,
just
yeah. And he's like kind of talking down to them like a tutor.
like, yeah. It's
Well,
like calling
that's
them
what Tim
names,
Dillon
like, "Hey,
does.
bozo."
Oh yeah.
Like, but Tim Dillon has his producer there on the side. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and he has a mic as well,
Right.
and he like occasionally like chimes in. I think it works better that way. What are you putting? What is on the burger? What is?
He's
what are
reinvigorating
What are you
it.
talking about?
That's not.
Oh,
What is it?
He's thirsty.
That is fucking disgusting. I can't believe
That is quite that is disgusting.
I can't believe we finally got burger on Wii, and it was the foulest specimen yet.
That looks worse than the burger than I had on the award show. It absolutely
No, they
does.
look kind of equivalent now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, Doplex, get your big beautiful face on here. I want to see those smiling cheeks.
All right. Yeah. Let me go wash my hands. Give me 2 seconds. This bit went on a lot longer than I intended, to be honest with you.
The punching the burger I was not expecting whatsoever.
Introduce the show while Doplex
Yeah.
washes his foreskin.
That's exactly what I was about to do. Usually I am controlling the show, but I wasn't really expecting a burger to come on and get.
You got to be prepared for the
punched.
unexpected when the Beef Boys come on. You should know this.
I should know this. Usually I am. As you guys know, I usually have a podcast title and thumbnail planned out beforehand.
Usually with the guests auspiciously absent. So
look, it was I will admit it was the wrong decision. It was the wrong decision.
and you've still got it there. It's the funniest part.
That's the best bit.
To be fair, that's committed. That's commitment to the bit. So I respect that.
But then again, who was going to go back and listen to the Beef Boys on the Ennui Talk podcast from 6 months ago?
Me.
The main podcast doesn't get any views anyway. The most recent episode, 12 views? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, no one's listening in the first place. Okay.
This one might crack 30 views.
You know what? I really, really, really think it will. Have I introduced the podcast? I think I slightly have.
No, you
welcome back.
Do it again.
I did. Okay, I will. Welcome back. On We Talk. I'm your host, Matthew Winter. ManyKudos is here on the podcast. We did have a burger here for a while, and we also have Doplex here. He's cleaning up his hands after a bit of a
strenuous
incident.
burger themed accident.
It was
took place.
It was something. Look, it gives me something to trim for TikTok and make some good burger content. Some random message me on Instagram.
Well, actually, while we're on the topic and while I'm setting up my new camera angle, what are you gonna put in the thumbnail for this one?
I don't know. I was thinking about putting your guys' face. You guys are semi-notable
I don't think that'll
YouTubers,
work.
but no, that's what I was thinking. I don't think it's very clickable whatsoever.
I think you should just reuse the same one from James.
Was there a burger in that one?
Episode.
It was a burger.
Yeah,
I could just do that.
That is where this whole
saves you
ordeal
time,
started.
saves you energy.
I know. I've got many other things to do. This is probably down the bottom on priorities right now. This podcast. I don't think it's gonna get many views.
Give us your entire I guess your to-do list.
Yeah, what's your itinerary?
to-do list?
What's an average day of Mr. Winter?
That is very interesting that you ask. I usually wake up. I'll have a shower, put a bit of face scrub on, might clean up my facial hair, and then I pray. I've got a Bible next to my bed at the moment.
Pray
Allah. Pray to Allah.
It depends. Honestly, different days. Different days. It depends what I feel like. Like sometimes it'd be Allah. Sometimes it is James Corden. It really depends on how I'm feeling.
Do you ever pray to Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I don't really like to pray to minorities. I don't really feel like that's my...
Okay, that's the direction this is going.
Look, I think I've said worse things on many other podcasts. So actually, that reminds me. Somebody said one time, they said, "Oh, I listened to all your back catalogue of podcasts from episode where I touched children," and they and well, I don't remember that. I don't remember saying that. Can you actually, before I continue my story, where did you get that soundbite? Because I do not remember saying that whatsoever.
You said that you uploaded this video once. It was you sweating, eyes bloodshot, It was like default, like title and thumbnail, like YouTube suggested ones. You took it down after like 3 minutes, but Doplex got it. It was like a confessional or something. It was weird.
Oh, that must be the first night of
confessional
caps.
/ suicide note. Like you looked really sad.
Interesting.
You're like kind of. It was the one where you had like the 9mm in your hand and you
point it
like
at the
slowly,
camera
like-
and then at yourself repeatedly.
yeah, and then you just like a single tear ran down your face and you were just like
I touch children.
like it cut to black. It was very avant-garde. I'm not gonna lie. I
Now,
really
can you give us
enjoyed
the remix?
There's not a remix there.
No, Doplex
there?
can do a remix on the fly.
it. I can do a remix.
Okay,
Let's see. I can. Let's see.
Hit it. Hit it, baby doll.
I touch children. I touch children. Oh, hold on, Jamie. I touch children.
I'm thinking I'll make that the new
That's the
theme
best
song
I
for the
can do.
podcast. Actually,
That was beautiful. Doplex, I want to see your jowls. I want to stare you in your eyes.
Sorry, I gotta like readjust. I literally had to set up. I had to do kind of a lot to just get that burger shot. So.
it was well framed as well. I was really not expecting
You did
it.
put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah. It took me like 20 minutes just to get that perfect, but
And now we've all done it in a matter of minutes. Much like this podcast.
yeah. Honestly,
when you-
I am kind of sad that I had to punch him dead, but that's okay. Now it's me. The burger is lifeless. He's lifeless and he's cold right here. Hi.
Were you
hello.
expecting to eat that afterwards or not? Like, was that the?
You put
I
glue on
was.
it.
I mean,
plan.
well, my whole plan was after I punched it, I was just gonna kind of like eyeball it for the next however long, and then once you guys weren't looking, I was gonna just kind of like pick at it. But
But then you poured 4 Loco all over it.
I poured four Loco on it. I punched him. I assaulted him. I molested him. I'm not gonna eat it. That's what I'm trying to say.
You still could eat it. It's still edible. Like it's just crushed food.
Come on. I'm not a disgusting pig like you, Matthew. Come on. Don't even imply that.
You're not a pig-esque humanoid.
You guys gave me compliments before and said I was looking skinny and.
Well,
like,
you are. That's the thing. You are. So I feel like like when somebody improves their life like a lot, and then you see that like like they're carrying themselves well, and you're like,
You
oh,
feel
they
like
look
you need
really
to
good.
pull them back down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to like kind of break them down a little bit. You know, like
you gotta
tell
set them
them,
up
hey
for
Matthew,
failure."
you look kind of stupid today. Like your head is a little weirdly shaped. But then I'll build you back
It's more
up with another
egg-shaped.
compliment.
It's more
like,
egg-like than usual. It's like Jeffrey
Yeah,
Epstein's
it
penis as a head.
I was gonna say that.
I think I have a nicely shaped head, if I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest.
I don't know who told you that, but yeah, I mean, it's
All the girls in my town, obviously.
name.
Damn,
name
babe,
two
you got a
girls in your
nice-shaped
town.
head, huh?
I know all the girls in town. They
All
I
three
go
of them?
pub all the time.
Full name.
Docs all
Rebecca.
of them.
Rebecca.
Okay, that's
Rebecca
not real.
what?
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Rebecca Stephanie?
Rebecca,
Or are these
Rebecca
two different
Stephanie.
girls?
These are two different girls.
Okay.
They won't let me say their last names at all.
Are
There's a
they
bit of a-
in your house right now? Are you holding them
No,
captive?
no.
Are they allowed to leave?
They're not. They're not allowed to leave. They're not allowed to leave. They're not allowed to leave. But no, you're not allowed to leave.
Get back!
Get back! Oi! That was really loud. I've actually got like I met my neighbors for the first time, and I realized one of them was this like 5-foot Asian woman, and I wasn't really like ready for it. Like when you, I'm like, when you meet somebody, but you're not
You're
like
ready
really
for Minority to
expecting
move
it.
next door?
No, look, I wasn't ready for it, and she said, "You got my mail," is what she said. That's what, and I said,
That's
"Oh,
how
here you
she
are."
said it?
That's how she said it, and then she gave me some like Peking duck, and it was.
There's
Quite
also like in her
scrumptious
pocket,
peeking
like an RPG.
Yeah. This the way you explain that scenario just sounds inherently racist. Like I met a small Asian woman. I wasn't ready for it, and she handed me Peking duck after asking if I had her mail.
I don't think I've ever said anything racist in my life. I don't know what you're insinuating.
It sounds like a made up story. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's
you know.
it's
It
not.
is. You do get a bit thrown off when you meet someone who's very short, like that, like 5 foot short. You're always kind of like, oh yeah, people can be that tall as adults, you know.
Have you ever
Right.
like interacted with like a dwarf or a midget, whatever the correct term is? Because I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen one like in person, like not at a freak
I have
show.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't
No.
like. I feel like I've seen one before. Seen one like they're the fucking like it's a side quest. I mean, I don't think I've actually ever like met one and hung out with one. I mean, I'm pretty short. You know, I'm 5'6", but like I wouldn't consider myself a little man. But I mean, I'm a little man in theory. But
You're like a half dwarf.
yeah, I'm like a half dwarf.
Yeah, you get like some of the stat bonuses of humans and dwarves, which is like
Right,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the whole thing with? Is it Peter Dinklage? Is that the midget actor who was in like Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
What's happening with it? Sorry, I just want to give it a representation of like this is
To
how
scale,
tall
yeah.
his Dinklage is. Yeah,
Right.
exactly right.
He's
like
that small.
His little dinklage.
no, that's his little Dinklage. What's going on with him? So, talking about something like about midgets and they don't get. I don't know.
There was
yeah.
Kudos. You go ahead. You tell the story. You're
He,
a big Peter Dinklage fan.
Yeah, I love the Dink, as we call him in the fandom, and the Destiny
Yeah.
1 fandom, which he voiced for some reason.
You are always saying how much you love the Dink.
They're doing one of those live-action remakes of Snow White, and then they obviously hired 7 real dwarves to play these 7 fictional dwarves, and then Pete English like went out saying that it's offensive to small people, actors or something. But then people were saying he kind of like did the whole like kick the ladder out from under him after climbing up sort of thing. Like he got big playing a role for a short person, and then turned around and was like, no other short people should do what I did, kind of thing. It was weird. I don't quite get the full story. There might not be all the details, but that was the general gist of it, I believe.
And then seven little people were out of a job because of him, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the movie's already done. I think it was more just him speaking out on like that sort of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the movie's already filmed or a trailer's come out or something or other, and yeah, he speaked out on it. But I don't know what's the alternative? You get like a regular sized person, and you just like squish them on the x-axis,
CGI them small.
Yeah, like what's the? I don't know.
It's sort of like how how you have like all those like those big animated movies, and it's like you get just like all these famous actors just to voice act for the sake of having a big name. It's like doing that. It's like, what are the name of the dwarves? Like, is it like Stinky and I just don't know the name of the 7 dwarves. Yeah, like
Peter
Pissy
Dinklage.
played by Peter Dinklage. Like Pissy played by James Corden, and it's like I don't want to see this like whatsoever.
To be fair, like I guess you could maybe do some kind of like perspective tricks. Like that was one of the crazy facts I found out. The guy who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings was actually the tallest actor out of all of the like Fellowship.
Oh,
So they just had to
Really?
use like perspective tricks and like CGI and shit to make him look short.
can you do that in reverse? Like, can you make somebody? Well, okay. I have a question for you boys on this topic. Would it be more socially acceptable? Like, okay, let's say you're a Peter Dinklage type, right? Mm-hmm. Would you be more offended if they got an actor, right? Like, let's say James Corden. Like, they took James Corden and then they got a little person and they recorded all the scenes with the little person, and then they superimposed James Corden's face on that
over the
little
top.
person.
Yeah.
So like with it, like kind of like Cats, like how they CGI'd cats and put their faces on it.
Instead of
would
using
that
real
be
cats.
offensive? Right.
I feel like it is.
Do you think Peter Dinklage would find that offensive?
But or like not even CGIing James Corden's face onto them, like they just had James Corden playing like a little person straight up. Would people be like, when ScoJo was in Ghost in the Shell and they were like, a white woman's, they've whitewashed another TV show, why didn't you hire any Asian actors or actresses? Like, would people be like that for that? Like, why did you hire just a normal sized person when you could have hired a little person? Because you can kind of, I feel like that argument could swing either way, like, but then.
Right, like Sia and the autism thing. I don't remember the specifics of that. I just remember like the whole. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, I do. I know. It's not. I don't know. I feel like I don't understand why she needed to make the movie, and it's like it's a musical as well. So it's just like randomly all these scenes about that girl from Dance Moms, and she plays an autistic kid, and then it like breaks out into like her dancing and it's like Sia songs. I don't understand Like the appeal as well. Like who does that appeal to, as well? Like who wants to see? Like, and apparently I haven't seen it, but there's a scene where she has like an autistic fit, and the guy like holds her down, so she'll stop having the fit.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Her. It's
fits on the floor.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I really don't know what the answer to any of this is. I'm not a small person. Although, do you reckon? I thought this when I was watching The Witcher because they had dwarves in that, like actual small people playing the dwarves in
actual dwarves
in The Witcher. And like, do you reckon you'd be like, as a dwarf actor, you would just have to learn a Scottish accent? Like that is like one of the only ways you can reasonably fight. Like, well, I may as well just learn a Scottish accent if I don't already have it. Because that would probably help me get work in the future.
I think it's silly that, I don't know, I think a dwarf needs to pay a dwarf, and I think it's like, okay, this is what the source material is.
Yeah,
I think it would be silly to replace it with just like any old actor, like James Corden, like on his knees, like walking around, like I don't think it makes any sense
with shoes on his knees. Yeah, I suppose like the flip side, like,
and he's thrusting.
You could argue that, like, oh, this doesn't happen to fully sized people. Is that the right term?
I guess so.
But like but then like say that this new Uncharted
people.
movie that's coming out with Tom Holland in it. I think so many people I know have been complaining about Tom Holland's being cast in that. Like, like he doesn't look like Nathan Drake. So why the fuck did you hire cast him? So if
I agree with that.
So people are getting mad that the wrong fully abled white guy isn't the correct fully abled white guy. So I feel like there's really no position that is quite clear, is quite free from that kind of criticism. True. So I don't even know if it's necessarily like
I think. Yeah. I mean, I think the whole argument is like, if like, let's say you're a little person, right? And or you're in school and stuff, and everybody's watching the new fucking Snow White and the shitty dwarves, and then they start comparing the dwarves to you because you're a little person. Like, I get that argument, but then like you kind of alienate the representation for small people in movies, right? Isn't that kind of like,
it's kind of bad both ways? I mean, I feel like
what sort of role are they supposed to have?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, what way can you go? It's either you run the risk of having some comparable thing, or you just you alienate them more. So like generations down the line, when we're not using like little people in movies and media, then like when you see one, you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I looking at?
What the fuck? Because you've never seen one. Just run up and spike them, like,
right?
Because you'll be like scared. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if kids want to bully someone for being different, they're just gonna do it anyway. They don't need like Disney to put out source material for bullying.
That's true. Yeah,
like kids will just they'll find the most weird, obscure thing to make fun of you for. It doesn't matter if you're like short or disabled or anything. You can just be like the most vanilla kid in the world, and they'll make fun of you for them just being the most vanilla kid. They make fun of you for being boring or something. So
that's 100% true. I mean, like, media is so prevalent where it's like, especially if you're a kid, like, for example, I'm Mexican, I'm a brown man.
Wait, what?
And people call me Pedro just because they watched Napoleon Dynamite. You know what I mean? It's like you see something, you're like, oh, I know that from this. You put two and two together. You kind of look like you kind of look like Stinky McGee from Elmo's Big Adventure.
I've had that so much on YouTube, which is weird because I've got a very generic fucking white guy with brown hair and glasses look. Not a very original look.
Harry Potter.
So I started getting that after I was on YouTube, and I'd never had that before. I mean, I didn't really have anyone really compare you to anything before, I suppose, because most people you meet in real life don't do that. But it's always a weird experience when you get a comment that like, oh, you look like this guy here, right? Or people on Twitter like tag you in something like, this is you. Yeah. I'm like,
this you?
Okay.
I used to get a lot of people used to think I looked like Nicolas Cage, and I don't understand.
I can actually see that. Yeah, I can actually see that now that you say that.
Really?
I don't see that. Take off your glasses. Let's
Take off your shirt.
Any Nick Cage. Yeah, take off your shirt.
I feel like I'm on a Meagle when I was like 14 years old again. I don't see it. I don't know. I know I was not actually going to do it. Look, do I look like I'd get naked on my own podcast? People need to pay premium money.
Nick Cage would.
Yeah, the real Nick Cage would.
Yeah.
Did he get shirtless in Ghost Rider or not?
Well, he got skinless. He was a ghost with a skeleton. He was just a skeleton. He took everything off like in Rock DJ. He did the Rock DJ transformation method. I hate that music video.
I don't think I've ever seen a full Nick Cage movie. In all honesty. Oh,
Have you not seen Willy's Wonderland or whatever it's called?
No, I haven't.
I've not seen.
I've seen.
What was the really violent superhero one that Jim Carrey got weird about? Not Superbad. It was like
Kick-Ass?
Kick-Ass, that was it. Yeah. And then and then the second one, Jim Carrey was in it as this like goofy character, and then he got like, after they'd filmed it, he got fucking, I don't know, converted by Facebook meme pages like for boomers or something, because he started getting really like anti-violence. He's like, all the violence and media and video games and everything is corrupting the youth, and he like refused to promote the movie. Like I
don't understand.
Yeah, Jim Carrey did go pretty hippie.
Yeah, something happened around that time when he like, because he also did that thing where he was like playing that comedian. He went full like a method actor for like 2 years.
And then who was the actor? Who was the comedian? It was. What's the movies in?
Yeah, I can't actually remember. I haven't seen either the movie or the documentary about it. I just know that happened.
Are you talking about the Jerry Seinfeld thing?
Yeah, the one where
he goes and visits.
Where Jim Carrey did the set, The Laugh Factory.
But didn't Jerry Seinfeld actually do like a comedians in cars getting cars and coffee in cars?
Comedians in cars creating
am I mixing that up with something else?
Yeah, I don't know. You might have done Jim Carrey, but I just know Jim Carrey went full method actor trying to pretend, in order to act like this comedian, this deceased comedian for like a biopic or whatever.
What's his name? I know his name. That's Andy Kaufman. That's it.
That was it. Yeah, and he fucking lost his gourd a bit and was like. He was like responding to people as though he was Andy, and I think he was even like talking to Andy's family as though he was Andy. It was really weird. That's
creepy.
And then he followed that up with just being in the Sonic movie. It's like such a like a contrast from this like.
And now I'm Eggman.
Yeah, like literally, he went from this super like intense, like method acting, like losing your mind to play this character, to literally playing Eggman, who, as far as I know, he did not go full method actor on. He just went back to.
No, he ate nothing but eggs. Like leading up to that, he was on a full egg diet. Raw eggs.
He was shelving eggs nonstop.
Yeah.
Was this before or after the whole, like he's on Kimmel or Fallon, and he did like the whole like Illuminati, like the tongue thing? Do you guys remember that?
No.
And he was like, have you not seen that?
No.
People were like,
is that when he? Oh, I think I'm thinking of that creepy smile he does. Like that Grinch smile that he does.
He did a video recently for his birth. No, he was on Fallon. I think it was Kimmel or Fallon, and he started talking about like Hollywood and like the Illuminati and all this stuff.
Pull it up.
And Fallon's like, cool. Let's promote the Sonic movie. That's what we're here to do.
A red dot appears on Fallon's forehead.
Yeah, he's like, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have not seen that, but Jim Carrey's a interesting guy. Now he's also like on the new Weeknd album, just randomly.
Yeah, that was cool. I really liked that, to be honest.
It was really good. Like it was kind of creepy.
Yeah,
but in like a very.
What was he? What did he do? Like, we'll give us a quick recap.
Well, he does like on the whole album is sort of the structure of it is like a radio station, and like I don't know, but like kind of like a weird radio station at the middle of nowhere.
It's like to the afterlife. It's like it's the whole thing is like this weird motif of like, it's like that pseudo 80s kind of thing. It's like modern but 80s. You're like listening to the radio, and Jim Carrey's like, he does this
very cult leader
radio personality. Yeah, but like as the album progresses, it like at the end he's like basically welcoming you into like heaven, and it's like it's very somber. And the first time I listened to it, I got like really emotional because like I love Jim Carrey, and it was like, oh man, I'm dying and I'm seeing Jim Carrey.
Which would be like a very game. Like you'd be pretty stoked if Jim Carrey was God at the end of it all. You'd be like,
Or if he was the Grim Reaper
yeah, I could see that.
all along. Yeah. Just comes to your house with a scythe.
That's interesting that like you can like The Weeknd is like quite a like prolific artist, and like he can do an album like that and still be sort of like, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of those mainstream artists, then again, like I guess like, you know, probably, you know, like Kanye for example, like his stuff right now is not
Kendrick,
that.
they're all very pushing the boundaries. There's definitely a lot who just like
absolutely
do very like generic whatever. But yeah, The Weeknd's definitely. His early stuff was really, really good and really creative and pushed boundaries. And I think he did go through a little bit of a very mainstream phase for a wee while, when he was like just doing very poppy, like not generic, but comparatively generic. And I feel like now he's kind of at the point where he's like, I'm just gonna fucking do my own thing. Fuck you. And then he makes like this really.
But he still like kind of mixes that old sound with that generic sound, which I like. I don't know. To me, it's like a weird happy medium because I've always loved The Weeknd, and I think that's kind of like a testament. I like how we're doing like the fucking needle drop podcast right now.
I hate to say this, Matthew, but you're gonna have to shave your head to be Anthony Fantano.
I'm wearing the flannel.
I don't make the rules.
You gotta shave your head, and Kudos, you gotta smile really hard.
I gotta go vegan or something.
Yeah, the three of us will come together and become the.
We'll fusion dance 3 ways and become Anthony Fantano.
yeah. We'll put on our fucking Pataro rings, but like one on each of our ear, and the third one will be like on our cock.
Yeah, I've already got one on my cocks. That do you reckon if you put a mood ring on your cock, it would like give a more accurate reading?
Yeah, what color do you think it would be?
Just fucking blood red, because you're cutting on the
blood just red. Be black.
Yeah. I thought those were so cool back in the day. We've got them at like, you get them at like fairs, like or like is A&P show a thing in the States and Australia?
An A&P show?
It's like it might be a country bumpkin thing. It's like I think it's the day where they auction livestock. And then I guess because like everyone, you know, because you have your livestock for the next like year or however long, and so everyone comes together and like bids on like, I'll have this many sheep and this many
like
whatever.
Cows and shit.
Yeah, just I don't know, just fucking whatever livestock's around. But I guess because they were like,
you live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Jesus Christ.
I did. But I guess because it's like, well, we're gonna have like everyone there all day betting and shit. We might as well just make it into events like the kids can come along and not be bored as well. So it's pretty much just like a big fair, you know, with like carnival shit and I mean, like
we have something kind of like that. It's like, we have the Del Mar Fair in San Diego, and they do they have like a part of the fairgrounds where they do stuff like that, and then they do like those as seen on TV shit, like some fucking old dude in like a jean shirt will be like, check out this knife, it's really sharp. And they like, you know, circumcise himself like in front of like a bunch of families. And then like, they actually, they have like livestock there too. I don't think they sell them. I think they're just there to look at for some reason.
You can go and beat them up for $1 or something.
Yeah, you come punch this fucking goat.
Come punch a goat to death for $2. I'd do that.
Yeah, it would do, to be honest.
See, in my hometown, which was the Jesus Christ, I lived in what do they call it? Like the horse capital of Australia, which is like not the place you really want to.
Oh yeah, the Mr. Hands Memorial Town.
Look. No, but like the big event of the year, we had Horse Week, and there was like a festival, and there was like there's like freights, and there's like people walking down the street, and there's like everyone's like waving, and like you had to represent your school, or I was never in any of that shit. Like, but then then there'd be like
they didn't allow you there.
No, they didn't allow. Like, I can't be like 10 foot within like younger children.
Any horses.
And there was a fete. I think they called it like a fete. It was like jumping castles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had a rodeo as well. Like that was the other big thing. And
I think a rodeo is probably like a semi-equivalent maybe to what I had. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But like when I went to the rodeo, like not many people were actually there for the rodeo. Really, it was just like
to go to the stalls,
let's go get drunk.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Like that's what it was. That's all it was. It was like buy food and drink, or get drunk, and like you're around people from the town, and everybody would go, and that was it. It was just like a gathering, and then like right in the center, there's like bulls, and they're like getting bucked and all this sort of bullshit. I don't think anybody actually watched the rodeo itself.
Yeah, sure. It was just an excuse to get everyone together.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's the most exciting thing in my town, I'm sort of like glad I left. That's not much going on. Like,
Right.
I want to go back, honestly. Like, I do miss that sort of. I do. It is nice in the big smoke and the big city, but I don't know. There's something nice about living out in the country. It's a simple life. It's a quiet life.
It's a simple plan.
But
We should all go to a rodeo.
Where I am now, like it's like Mudgee. It's growing like so quickly because people from like Sydney, from the city, they're like, oh, you know, we've got all this money. Let's go. Like it's close enough to Sydney. It's like 2 hours away, not even that. It's close enough to the city, but it's like we can like live in wine country and go to the wineries. Like if you look up what to do in Mudgee, the top 10, like the top out of the 10, it's like 8 things.
get
Like
drunk.
oh, there's this winery. Yeah, go get like wine tasting.
I do like that. I don't
you
even
know-
like wine, but I like wine country. It's just like a nice, like it's. I don't know. I guess it's a bit bougie, but it just feels very quaint. Every like wine sort of district I've been to, I'm like, yeah, I could live here.
It's nice. It's quiet. Like there's not much going on. There's a McDonald's.
They'd have to be.
Is that the one you work at?
Yeah, that's what I work
Do
at.
they
If
serve
anyone wants
wine
to
there?
come visit, yeah, they do actually. Like we get the children to they can have a sip and then they like get around their mouth and they like spit in a little cup.
And then you
And I keep that for later.
Then you get arrested.
Daddy gets.
That's
his
good
sip.
shit.
Yeah,
You let them in the back, and
that's
then don't tell their
something.
parents.
I feel like that's kind of going to be the future. Like I feel like more and more people are moving out of the city. Like I know a lot of people back in the sort of area I'm from. It used to be like super cheap to buy a house, or it still kind of is comparatively. But like so many people are like, there's never going to be a fucking chance for us to buy a house in the city, so we're just going to like piece out to the country and buy something there. And especially with COVID and everything, like everyone can work remote these days pretty much. So I feel like more and more like now's probably the time to buy a house in the country because it's just going to get more and more like subdivided and expensive the longer you leave it.
Yeah.
I think if you look at like the whole YouTuber thing, like, you know, oh, you have to go to LA or you have to go to
Like
New York,
Doplex.
et cetera, like Doplex. Is that where you're living now? Is that right?
He moved to
Is that,
LA
like, you had-
so he can meet Markiplier and get big, but it hasn't worked out yet.
I mean, I am a Californian. I've been here my whole life. I live somewhat close to LA, but I didn't like come out here by choice. I've just lived here all my life.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I live like maybe 20 minutes from LA. But it's Orange County. It's basically LA. This whole fucking place is basically Los Angeles.
Sure.
See, that's interesting. Like, I don't like that. There's so many like, okay, if you want to look from the YouTuber perspective, it's like you don't have to live in the city, in the main areas to like make a successful business of any sort. Like, really, it's
No,
just
not
like
really.
COVID.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
like
move to
COVID
Bangladesh.
made that like really quite realistic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's been really good
Definitely.
opportunities since moving to Melbourne for me in the YouTube space, at least like starting out. I think I could get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just want to go live in my fucking hole now. But in terms of like just meeting people, you know, like that's how I met like Tabor and stuff, is going to events in the city. That like, you know, workshop events and shit like that, which you'd never get.
Yeah.
Pretty much even like the big cities back in New Zealand, you probably wouldn't get. And obviously, you know, being able to meet like other big Australian YouTubers and New Zealand YouTubers, like Melbourne is the big hub for all that. So in terms of like, I guess, networking, for lack of a better term, it's really good for that too. But yeah, I could see one day in the next, you know, several years, I'm going to be like, all right, I've met everyone. I've drank a lot. I'm going to go home.
I'm moving to Taiwan.
I'm moving
Talk
to
of Emily and leave.
Epstein's Island. I'm going to live in that cool pyramid.
What's it called? It's like St. James
So-
Island. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Pedo Island.
I was,
Yeah, something
St.
like that.
Matthews.
I was thinking, like, I hope that they see one of those like little Google, like Google drone mans. You know, the little guys who walk around with the Google backpack on and they do like the street view shit. I want one of those of that
yeah.
island because I'm like genuinely interested in like logistically what is a pedophile island like? Like, is it just like a fancy beach house, or is there genuinely like, is there like a prison at one point? Like, I know that sounds really grim, but I'm just like, what does that mean?
No, I know
What
what
is
you
that?
mean.
What is
Like
that weird white and blue building?
Yeah.
Like is there something in
like
there?
what's in there? It's like a Pizza Hut. You just like walk in there. It's just like a fucking Pizza Hut.
And the other thing is
combo.
The same thing is like, you know, when Batman has the Batcave, you're like, someone had to build that. Like they had to get like construction guys out there, and they're like, okay, here's where the cells are gonna go. You know, so like
here's where my cryo grenade holder is gonna be.
Yeah, like
this is where I'm gonna put my really fucking awesome suits. Yeah. Like,
I could just like see Epstein, like he's talking to the guys building. He's like so excited, like, oh, this is where I'm gonna fuck all the kids, and like that's where we're gonna like keep them away from all the other kids, and like, you know,
he's like your dad when he's like got a new project. He's really excited, and he's like talking about like. Yeah.
And like he's like, oh, I had these ideas from like these cages hanging from the sky, and there's children in them, and they've got like they're rattling against the things.
And we're gonna get like
I don't know. Do you think
we
this is
give
like
them little
doable?
mugs. We give them cute little mugs, and they can ram them up against the bars and cry for help, and we won't come. Speaking of which, can you soundproof this room? I can imagine like. Like yeah, if you're Jeffrey Epstein and you're building Pedophile Island, would you have to have like guys, I'm building Pedophile Island. Would you have to have like pedophile contractors as well, like to be on board with it? Because how else do you give them like your ideas?
Or do you reckon he just gets like, you know, some cheap, barely paid laborers from like, I don't know, fucking
Mexicans,
Thailand, or some like neighboring Pacific island, and they don't give a fuck. They're just like, oh yep, just some rich guy's island. We don't give a shit. And so he just.
See, I think you guys are missing the most obvious one though.
Yeah.
What?
The children. The children.
They do have
he brings all the
slaves. That's
right.
Exactly.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective. So you think he brings the kids to the island and has them? It's like digging your own grave, but he has them build their own cells in Pizza Hut Taco Bell combo.
Precisely.
Okay. That makes
that's interesting.
That's efficiency. That's a billionaire grind set. That's knowing how to utilize your workforce. Do you reckon
that's why he's successful and we aren't?
That is true.
He's dead now, but you know.
He also fucked a lot of children. Can we just reiterate?
He did do that
fact.
He did
do that. 1 out of 3 of us have also done that. But do you reckon if you went to Jeffrey Island right now, like? Do you reckon it's empty? Like, do you reckon there's like, you know, the fucking Clintons have their stormtroopers stationed there, and anyone who comes close is going to get shot on sight? Or do you reckon if you were just like some dude, some little skipper in like a little yacht, if you just floated past, like you could realistically like just, you know, anchor up and
like hole up
go for a little walk around? Or do you reckon there's like definitely some Illuminati stationed there 24/7 to protect any of the secrets?
Right. That's a good point. I would also like to know that. I mean, I know you can fly there in Microsoft.
Yeah, and when that game came out, there was like 100 people all like fucking kamikazing into the island and shit. And like because it's online, you just see there's like 100 planes circling Epstein's island. That was funny.
But yeah, no, I am curious to know if we have any like seaworthy people out there.
Any seafaring individuals in the Ennui fandom.
Yeah, if you have the bandwidth and if you have a raft, go out there and let us know. Let us know what happens. I want to know. What
if you like? Out there? Because you couldn't just. I reckon if you just rocked up there, they'd definitely like shoot you on sight. Like you're clearly knew what you. But like, what if you like you anchored up, you know, a while away, and then you like swam over and then pretended to wash up on shore as though you were like you're in a ship that capsized or something.
Yeah, I feel like they'd just eat you. I don't know.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
That's like the kind of people I imagine that live there.
I feel like they're missing out on the opportunity to like create like the newest like attraction. Like you could have people come over and like, you know, they could tour and take photos with like people of like Epstein's team, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, this is where Epstein. That's the bed he had all the sexual the children on. Like you can still see the stains. It's crazy. And then like you wear hats around and
like 100 years, like realistically that could be a thing though. Like in the same way you can like go to like Alcatraz and, you know, these like the Tower of London, like these places where genuinely horrible things happen. Like the Tower of London, that was like a literal torture chamber. And now people were like, just
Right.
you take kids there now as like on a fun historical trip, you know, like, oh, here's the room where they stretched people alive until their bones snapped. So like the idea of like in 100 years when the sort of the you know, the scandal of the whole thing has kind of subsided and everyone's forgotten anyone who was involved. I'm sure there could be a thing like, oh, come to the historic Epstein's Island and witness.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it'll be a haunted. It'll be
Yeah,
like a
something like
haunted
that,
Epstein
yeah.
tour. They say his ghost still roams
Well,
these
no-
walls.
not that this
if
makes
you're
it-
under 12. Protect your asshole.
Yeah, they
tell you that when you walk in.
they give you anti-ghost butt plugs before you go there.
Spray. No, it's like a spray. Like they have like little speakers that like just like come out of the corner and they're just like, and then you just have to like spray them away. It's all just like very tacky and like made
Really
up.
cheap, yeah, really badly done.
It's little like translucent Jeffrey Epstein's hanging from the ceiling.
They didn't kill the kids, did they? Not that makes it better or worse.
Where did they go?
You know,
they went somewhere.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Because none of them got like him or Ghislaine, that's not a real name, by the way. Him and Ghislaine they just got done for like child trafficking. They didn't get done for like murder or anything, I don't think.
That is true.
So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they're still there. They could be just like, I don't know.
No one's gone to check.
They're fused to the pavement.
What was that show that was on TV for a while?
Lost.
And it was like all the kids. No, not fucking Lost. The one where all the kids went to the ranch or something. John Tron did a video on it a while ago.
Yeah.
Not a ranch.
Oh yeah, I know
And
what
they all
you're
had to
talking about.
figure out
That was
how
a
to
funny
like
video.
live together. It was a good video.
Oh,
Maybe it's like that, and they're like filming a reality show, and like you see like
Yeah.
next month on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
All these kids fucked by Epstein. Now he's gone. Can they get it
Did
together?
they find their way home?
Can they?
Wait, no,
Can they create their
nothing
own
but
island?
Sticks and a.
It'll be like, you know.
No, they
No, you go.
they drop in like they drop in like provisions, and then they like see if they'll be able to make it home with like the bare minimum, like sticks, Jolly Ranchers, and like bubble gum, and then they have to like build a raft out of that.
It's like Survivor, but for kids on Epstein's Island. Survivor Epstein's Island would be that's the revitalization that show needs.
Yeah, that would bang.
And then like
I
the
feel
special
like-
awards they get where they like get to spend a night like at a nice hotel instead of sleeping in a hut is like they get to have sex with one child or something.
Wait,
I feel like if I was a reality TV show producer, it'd be more like The Air. It would be called The Air, and you have to figure out like who is going to be the successor to Epstein. And
like The Apprentice.
It's like that's it. And like you have the
Okay.
final two, and they get to have to hold hands. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know who would host it. It'd have to be Howie Mandel. It would like that is the first
Yeah.
thing that pops in my head.
Be,
He goes, and the
Roman
winner of The
Polanski.
Air,
He hosts
Roman
it.
Polanski.
Yeah. Yes.
And then
Matthew Winter.
that's it. That's it. And then I'm cheering. All the kids are like, they're so happy for me. They're all crying. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck every single one of you. And they're like, oh.
Do you remember?
I sort of forgot what the show was about.
I lost sight of it. Survivor used to be such a hot show back in the day. It was so cool in like middle school or intermediate as we
Yeah.
call it. It was like a very, I don't know. It was just like it was nutty. It's still going somehow. I don't know who's still watching like season
It is?
38, but someone must be.
That show's still on.
See, I never watched it. I was more of a Big Brother fan. I watched every season of Big Brother
I remember one
for
time
many years.
One time I was at my dad's and he let me stay up a bit later, and I remember one time I turned on the TV and they had Big Brother Uncut at like 9 or 10 p.m. And that was, which looking back on it is a really weird, very like perverse thing you couldn't do anymore, where it was the same
Right.
episode of Big Brother that they aired like at the regular time, except it was uncensored, so like there was no more like I guess they swore and you know like which before was bleeped out, and then they also just had like a gratuitous shower scene where it would be like like there's just tits and stuff, and I guess little willies too. It was really weird. It was like they were like, okay, here's the normal version of the show, and then here's the version of the show where we just add in a shower scene,
Yeah.
and that was it, and that justified
that's
like a
the
whole
value.
other like cut to be edited out and everything.
Right.
I remember like watching that for the first time. I would have been like 11 or 12 during my like horny adolescent stage.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd watch an all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this is good. And I said to Mum, I'm going to bed. And I'd go to bed and I'll take off my jeans and I'd lay in bed and I'll just like have my hand on my dick waiting for something to happen. And like all I hear is them going, oh, you're a fucking bitch, Sandra. And I'm like, just like my hand's just like still waiting there. I'm like, yeah, something's going to happen. And it never did.
I've had that too, for sure, especially a young guy. Like when it's like, I feel like kids today with just like smartphones and the 3DS and everything, it'd be so easy to fucking look up porn, but like,
on their 3D.
Yeah, which is apparently surprisingly good at watching porn on. But yeah, back in the day,
is
you
it
kind
3D?
of had to. I'd hope so. Back then, though, you had to just pray that the right thing came on screen or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah,
I never quite did this. I almost did once, but there has to be at least some kid who jerked off to like the Mass Effect like romance cutscenes. Which lasts for like 20 seconds and like show literally nothing.
Go quick! Try to do it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. Launch. Let's go.
I remember there was
little Willy.
Have you guys seen the movie Wanted? I vaguely remember.
Oh yeah, that movie was awesome.
It was good, but I only remember specifically like I remember watching it for the first time with my mum and my stepdad, and it's like, you know, it's one of the first scenes, and it cuts to like the girl just getting railed on that table, and like you know that's interesting. Yeah, oh yeah, that's interesting in front of your mum and your stepdad. I remember like watching it later, like late at night, and I would just like keep like rewinding to the start of the movie, and then waiting with my hand on my cock, and then like it come to that scene, I'd just have a little tug, and then I'd rewind it back to the start of the movie. Wait, like I don't know why I didn't like just rewind. Like,
or just pause it with the titties out or something.
Exactly. Like I would have finished that way, but like I think it was like
you like the experience.
That's it. But I never finished. I don't think I ever finished. It was just like I'd get like a 20 seconds and then I'd just stop. I was edging. I learned how to edge. Thanks, Wanted.
Hey, stepdad, check this out. I'm gonna go. Psych. I'm not gonna go.
Oh.
Have you guys seen the movie Ken Park?
Nah.
No, I haven't.
No, it's a no, I didn't edge to that. What's who's the movie Kids? It's directed by a guy. The guy who does Spring Breakers. Harmony Korine.
Oh sure, that was a weird movie.
I don't know who that is.
He's I guess like experimental filmmaker. But he directed him. I think he directed the movie. It was written by another guy, but like this is one of his first movies he was involved with. And the start of the movie, it's about a guy called Ken Park, and like his girlfriend says, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and then she goes away, and it's this ugly redhead guy, and he goes to like the middle of this skate park, just sits down, opens his bag, he's got a gun, and then just shoots himself in the head. And that's the last time we see Ken Park, and it just cuts to like there's 3 stories. There's a girl who has a boyfriend, but the dad's like really religious, but he gets drunk all the time. And one time she ties him up to the bed, and then the dad comes home drunk, and then just starts like beating the shit out of like this like 16-year-old kid, and there's like blood everywhere. And then the other one has like sexual relations with his girlfriend's mum, and there's like really like intimate scenes. It was, and then there's another guy. I don't remember. There was a third guy who I don't remember the whole story, but there's a fourth guy because there's the 4 friends, and he ends. There's a scene where he's watching tennis, and then it pans over, and he's like on his back, leaning against his bedroom door, and then he's got a tie around his neck, and he's just like jacking it. He's like jacking it so violently. Like, you can see it, and then it goes like it's a hard cut to his dick where he comes.
Oh, that's cool.
You
don't usually see it coming
cool.
So in movies, so
yeah,
that's quite cool. That's very avant-garde.
And then he kills his mum and dad.
Oh,
so
okay,
not long
that's
after
cool.
What was the point of bringing that up?
I don't know. I just thought it's like it's. We're just talking about coming. We're just talking about like jacking it to movies.
I guess we were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the movie, 3 of the characters have a threesome, and it's like they're all naked, and I don't know. It's just.
And there's like full penetration, and then like
that you can see it. It's
shit! I think more movies should have full penetration scenes. I've been saying that for a while.
I don't think so.
You have been saying that for a while.
do people enjoy that though? Like, I guess like does that make a good movie? Like, you know, a threesome, like a very
graphic.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been of the mind that like the more sex in movies, the better, and like, but not like don't just stop it. Like I want like, you know. I think every movie, like regardless of rating, should have like a full penetration scene. Like if you're watching, like let's say they come out with like Chicken Little 2, right? Chicken Little 2 Return to Chicken Town. Like I want to see a full penetration scene between the chicken and the
little. Yeah, you want it to be that like behind the crack shot too, where you can't see like the face, and it's just that angle for like 5 minutes straight.
Right. Yeah, and it's all just gratuitous. Like it doesn't serve the plot in any way.
Yeah.
But it's about making a point, right? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like if they come out Finding Nemo 3, right? There's got to be like a really epic fish sex scene.
Well, they could have had it at the start of Finding Nemo 1 when because they had the eggs and everything, so they could have had, you know, Nemo's dad coming on all of them as fish are known to do.
Right, and there is the implication that those eggs did come out of fish pussy, so like sex technically did happen.
Exactly,
At the
I want to
start
see
of Finding Nemo. But
I think kids need to know that like that's how life works.
I agree. Yeah, if anything, it's kind of fucked up that they didn't show it because it's like
revisionist history.
What, fish don't have sex? Yeah, are you saying fish don't have sex? Fucking Disney, man, I'm sick of it.
I still don't know how birds like have kids. I think I've seen that recently, but like
how?
Like how?
Do birds have?
Exactly.
Cocks?
So you don't fucking know either. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't.
No one knows. I don't think even like birdologists know. I think it's like one of those mysteries that we're just not meant to know.
Yeah. Although I feel like I have seen birds have sex before.
I feel like I've seen them like flap on each other, but I don't know if that's just them fighting or something.
It is true. Well, I mean, like literally one time I was walking down a sidewalk and there were these two pigeons and they were like both like on top of like a street light. And when I was walking, they fell like right in front of me, but they straight up looked like they were doing missionary sex.
Sure, and then you
like,
stomped them.
One bird was flopping like this, and like the other bird was like, you know, like as if they were doing it, but it looked like they were stuck together. Yeah. So I think that they have sex like humans do.
That's kind of basic.
That's a theory.
I do remember one time I did see a bird sexual assault in progress. It was like
Sorry?
I used to like my apartment used to face on this this like car park, and I remember and so with a lot of like roofs around, I suppose, so there was a lot of birds, but there was this pigeon once that was just clearly getting harassed by this other one. Like it kept like trying to get on it, and then that bird would just like walk away a little bit, and then that one would jump on it again, and then the other one would fly away to like another roof like 10 meters away, and then the original bird would follow it and start doing it again, and that happened like for 10 minutes straight, just this one bird chasing the other bird around and around until I think the other one realized it can actually fly and just took off.
Yeah.
I saw these two. I saw like a dog get like cucked on my backyard. Like
by you?
Like, I looked. No, not by me. I've never fucked a dog. I'm not. Look, and I looked out over the balcony, and there's a dog just like laying there, like imagine a dog like laying there like this, like with its hand on its head on the ground, and the other one, another dog just like ramming this other dog from behind.
And it was like, so was you? When you say it was cucked, was that in like he was enjoying it kind of way? Like he was like,
well, like he was in like a relaxed position, like
Did
he have his paw on his dog penis like you did?
He did.
Watching that movie?
Waiting for it to do
That's exactly right. You just pull him back. You know, he's seeing he's showing off his little red skin.
Right. He's edging.
A dog cock's funny. I think dog cocks are funny.
Dog I mean, I don't think so because I have a dog.
Cock.
So like, the thought of dog penis like just severely grosses me out.
Any animal penis is kind of nasty. Cats are kind of cool though. They've got like switchblade penises.
Really?
They've got like spikes. They've got like barbed penises that like stop the female cat from escaping, which is kind of fucked up.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if humans had that? Like if dudes had that? Like if we had like fucking trapdoor cocks?
Trapdoor cocks.
It's like you can't change your mind. Like
you're in it.
Like it's like you're in it, and like I don't know. I feel like that would be very problematic if we had dudes walking around with switchblade trapdoor cocks. maybe it's good that only cats got that.
Exactly.
One.
Well, that's why like if you've ever heard like cats fucking going to town at night, why it sounds like one of them is dying.
Yeah,
that's more or less why. It's weird how like some of the cutest animals are the like fucking grossest things. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Are they the only animal that has like a a penis that traps the partner? I feel like it.
I feel like
it is.
swans do as well, don't they? Like, don't swans have like
got a corkscrew
spiral
penis.
cocks? Yeah.
I don't know if that...
But isn't that for kind of the same thing?
Maybe. I do know that some birds, like ducks, I think are very rapey as well.
Yeah.
Animals are kind of fucked up when you
dolphins
think
are
about
as
it.
well.
Yeah, dolphins too. A lot of really fucked up animals. Humans, like we're cooked, and I guess you could argue the fact that we know better makes it even worse. Like animals are kind of just like doing like base instinct shit. They don't really think beyond that. So the fact that you know that's worse and do it anyway is arguably worse.
Yeah.
But
That's
animals
true.
also be doing some fucked up shit, and like just even just like killing babies. You know, like monkeys will just kill other like baby monkeys and shit.
Right. Yeah. They'll rip them apart and eat them.
Just because they like see them as like a threat, or they just don't like it or whatever. They just pick up
Yeah.
someone else's baby and just fucking bash it.
Do you think they like?
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah, it's
Do you
pretty
think they like
sweet.
try to protect each other? Like they like, oh, don't hang around that monkey. Like he's like really rapey. He's like really handy.
Maybe,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like I don't know.
they have signs up. Hey, stay away from Bozo. He's very handsy.
Yeah,
He'll
I
rape
don't
you
know.
and bash your child against a wall.
Monkeys are cool. I wish
Monkeys are cool.
I wish we were more like monkeys in every way.
Can we have monkeys as pets in Australia?
I haven't tried, but you could. Probably not. This is a very restrictive country.
It is quiet. Can you in America?
I think you can, but I think they have to be like service animals, and they can only be like specific kind. Because sometimes I'll watch like monkey content. You know, it's just like a dude who has like a monkey like in his house. You know, like there was a monkey George who died recently,
Rip.
and he was really cool. He got like fan mail, and like that was like fucking crack to me. Like watching this monkey open fan mail, and it was just like, you know, like bags of
It's kind of the same
snacks,
thing
like-
as when I used to watch like iDubbbz's Bad Unboxing. That was also a monkey opening fan mail, and I quite like that one too.
Right, yeah, it literally was iDubbbz's Bad Unboxing, except he would eat the stuff. But like it was cool just watching this little monkey get like papaya, and like he just looked so happy. And then I was thinking like, I want a fucking monkey, and I want to give him papaya, and I just want to like just be his best friend. But I think you got to have like something. I think it's like dudes who come back from like the military, and like, you know, if they get like PTSD or something,
yeah.
maybe they can get a monkey. Or if you just have like, I don't know, severe like anus AIDS. I don't know.
Monkeyitis.
I don't know the specifics. I'm not a monkey guy.
The monkeys are kind of cool, but I'd never want to like have one or be near one. Because that, like, there's a lot. Like they're like little fucking humans who they have to wear diapers. They're like a baby,
That's
but they
true.
never stop being a baby. And
Yeah,
like a baby seems like the most annoying form of a human possible.
But I
That
feel like
is
you could
true.
train it. Like you could train it just like you train like a dog.
To
Like I
a
feel like
degree,
a monkey.
or you could just have a
I don't
baby,
know.
and then
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but then it
Monkeys-
grows, and then it goes through like puberty, and then like starts dating boys.
at least like
that.
different stuff happens with it. Like a monkey's just a fucking monkey, and you're like, great, it shed itself again. It's ripped
Yeah.
it's pulling my DSLR apart for the 10th time.
Yeah, it ripped my wife's face off. But like, you know, have you not seen like those videos of like the monkey like? He's like reading instructions. Like he gets like a water bottle and he like opens the instructions. He's like reading it. Like that's smart. There's something happening in his head.
They are smart
I don't know,
little
like,
dudes. I like gorillas the most.
Yeah.
They're cool, but you couldn't keep
I
them
hate
as a
gorillas.
pet.
They freak me out. They fucking scare me.
You like gorillas more than monkeys?
Yeah, they've got like
Why?
they've got like a gentle
Shocking.
giant kind of like a. I feel like you could like
They hurl their feces at you.
not me.
Not you specifically.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're cool. I think they're like big, like gentle giants. I feel like you could like strike up an understanding with them. I feel like the little chimps are it's the same way, like, you know, the little scrawny guy picking a fight on the street is 10 times scarier than like the big guy, because the little guy's gonna like pull out a knife or something to compensate. Like the little monkeys are the
true.
ones who will rip your face off and like start
Yeah.
chewing on it, whereas like a gorilla will probably probably not even do anything to you, but if it does, it'll probably just like fucking throw you over the moon or something, and then you'll be fine.
But that's scary to me because, like, you know, like they're so kind and gentle, but it's like you never know. Like you just might say the wrong thing to a gorilla, and then it just crushes you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you can't escape that. You can't, like, they're powerful beings.
They are, but in that there's a respect you strike up. Like, what was it, Coco the gorilla who met Robin Williams and then was like sad when he died? Oh man, there's a really fucking sad video of Coco the gorilla. She had like a pet kitten, and the kitten like ran across the road and got hit by a car and died, and she's like literally crying when they tell her about it. It's so sad. Like it is really sad. It like hits you so hard because she genuinely loved this kitten as you would as a human. Yeah. I know it's one of those dumb things where you're like, oh yeah, animals are just like us. They also love kittens.
Yeah, that is true. Animals are like us, but are gorillas rapey?
I don't know.
Like, do gorillas have rapey? Because like, you know, that's always the thing. It's like when you watch a lot of like animal based content, and like you're like, oh, that's really sweet, that's really cute, like I love that a lot. And then like you'll watch like another thing, and then it kind of like takes that whole respect that you had for that specific animal and throws it out the window. You know,
like that monkey fucking a frog.
Sorry?
Yeah, or
It's a funny video.
Courtney, put it on screen.
Courtney put it in here. It's a monkey fucking a frog like a fleshlight.
Yeah. Who sees like a monkey fucking a frog and goes, "This would make good content," and then starts
It was a very like I don't know, like 2011 type beat. It was an early YouTube thing.
2011 type beat.
It was a classic. You had to be there.
Yeah.
It's still
There's
on
also
YouTube,
that video of that guy fucking the fish. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. No,
that's another internet classic.
He's like, that's my friend.
It's
He's
like
fucking a fish.
Yeah, it's like a dude and his boys. They're just like out on fucking lake. And like the dude just pulls his cock out and just like uses this fish that he just caught as a fucking
I never understand being that comfortable around my boys, like to that level of like fuck a fish. Or even just like me and Doplex go on Goon Caves every day and like check the new posts, and there's always like pictures of like two bros jerking off, but they're like jerking off to straight porn. So it's like, are they gay? Because I mean, if you're gay, that's fine. That's just like you're doing the thing. But these are two guys who are like supposedly straight, but then they're jerking off next to their bro.
But there's no touching, is there?
No, they're not like jacking each other off. They just wanted someone to jack off next to.
Yeah.
That's like a pure bro. Like that
is a pure bro. But then you also get like there's a lot of stuff as well. If you search any woman's name on Reddit, I found this out when I was researching my very first video, which was on Pokimane. If you just search Pokimane on Reddit, which is a great idea by the way, there's so many people, you know, looking for like jack off buddies. Like, oh, I want someone to hop on like a Discord call with me while we like both jack off to like something.
What the fuck?
Which is so far removed from anything I would ever want to do.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, it's a private thing.
Kind of sad.
I feel like it's a private thing.
Yeah, I mean, like Matthew, you're kind of a weird guy. Would you, like, if you and your boys were over, you guys were like playing Smash Bros, and then like you got like a little inkling, you know, like you touch your little winter cock down there, and then like you and your boy, like, would you turn to your boys and say like, hey, let's flip off Smash. Let's get it on. Pokimane deep fakes, and let's fucking crank our hogs right here, right now on this couch.
There is no situation that I think that ever happened. I think it's weird. Like, it's weird to, I don't know. I feel like it's something that you need to do with somebody you're attracted to. Do you know what I mean? Like, or at least, I don't know. Like,
that's the thing. If it was like you were jacking off in a call with like someone you're attracted to, like whether that's another guy or with a girl or whatever, I can at least kind of see that. But then like it seems like it's just two straight dudes who want to jack off to straight porn but also like be on a call together. That seems like
that makes it gay.
I think maybe there is like a bit of curiosity involved, a bit of a curiosity rover involved.
But it's hard to say if that's inherently gay or if it's just more so being a absolute sexual deviant / sex pest. Because I feel like, you know, you have a lot of people who are very, you know, they're very open with their sexuality. Like, you got dudes like, I used to work at a sex store, and I would come in contact with these kinds of people like, all the fucking time, and like some people are just very, what's the word? It's not really voyeuristic, but it's just like some people are just like, look, it's part of my body. I like to jack off. I like to come. I know you do too. Let's just do this together. Because we're human. We're free spirits, baby.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even know if it's an inherently gay thing. I wouldn't do it because I'm not an exhibitionist and I'm not, a fucking weirdo. But Matthew Winter, on the other hand, I feel like you'd...
Has there ever been a time when either of you guys have, like, looked at porn with, like, someone else? Not in, like, you're both jacking off, but you're both, like...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I did mean when I was very, like, first looking at porn.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
And then,
like,
you're at your friend's house. He's like, look, I found this magazine from my brother under my brother's bed. And you're both like, oh. And you're like, we're not like jerking off together or whatever. You're just kind of looking at like, whoa.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you don't jerk off together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I remember the first time I was like, oh, here's lesbian porn on like XX and X. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Girls making out. I didn't know that existed. And then like you do it yourself from then on.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's, I don't know. Like, do you think it's weird when people like, it's mostly teenagers, but you still see it with like older people. They'll go on like Omegle or any of those chat sites, and they just want somebody to like, oh hey, show me your boobs, and I'll show you my dick and jack off. Like, is that?
I've never got that either
weird?
Because it's also like, you're literally one click away from infinite boobs. Like, how does someone? I guess that is people who get off on like the voyeuristic nature, like, oh, someone's looking at me.
But that's the OnlyFans thing as well. It's like you're interacting with a real person who wants to show off.
Yeah,
their boobs.
I guess people want that.
People want
that
you
connection.
to look at them.
Yeah, it is. It is just funny though. Like, that whole thing of like, you can the boobs you're seeing on Omegle are probably like compressed and also probably a dude's and like probably not good to if it's a girl who's going around showing her tits on Omegle. Maybe not the top tier tits.
I've never heard anyone say it like that.
So like you could probably find much better quality stuff if you just, I don't know, went on any porn site ever. So yeah, I guess some dudes really just get off on the idea of someone showing them that personal connection more than anything else.
Did you know anybody who was like that?
I probably do. Not that I... Like, not something I talk about with anyone, but I'm sure there's some guys I know who are like creepy like that.
Like I remember I had a mate and he said like, oh yeah, I saw boobs like, a handful of times. And one time he's like, oh yeah, there's this girl and she got like naked for me, but she had like mini seizures like every 20 seconds on cam. So she'd be like naked, show off her body, and she'd like just stare. And then she's like, "Oh, sorry about that. I had a seizure." And it's like, how do you maintain a hard on when they're like having a mini seizure and you're like, this could be like the last time. That's
developed a fetish for him.
Yeah.
A seizure fetish. That's actually, there was a like somebody mentioned to me, like, because I don't know, it was a while ago. They were like, oh, there's this new girl started at work and she has epilepsy, and it's like, oh, imagine if she's like choking on your dick and she like has a fit. And it's like, you don't say that about people you work with. You just don't.
I thought you were saying there was someone at McDonald's for a second. I was like, God damn,
no, McDonald's. No, God no.
No,
God no.
Not
Look,
there.
I'm a great boss to all my kids.
Are you? Or like, give us because I'm curious, right? Like, I punched a McDonald's burger at the start, and you did. I kind of want to circle back around to more McDonald's themed conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm in McDonald's if you couldn't tell.
I had a feeling
just
that's where
noticed
you
that.
were.
I only just noticed. It actually looks very similar to my McDonald's.
Oh, maybe
it very
that's the
much
one.
does.
Yeah, Kudos looked it up. He got it off Google Maps.
Actually,
do you have any? Do you have any McDonald's related questions? Is that what you're?
Yeah, well, I'm curious because you manage a McDonald's.
How big is a Big Mac?
Honestly, it's bigger than you think. I don't know. I think it's a Mac and it's big. Apparently the Big Macs have gotten smaller over like the last like 30 years. My mother says.
Yeah.
My mum actually said, because like it was at we had like a few other managers.
Does your mom own McDonald's?
She does not own McDonald's. She's a titty bar lady. She's she dances on the. She shows her tits. It's like a, what do they call it? Like a Hooters, but it's like a bar. That's what my mum works.
But in McDonald's?
Yes,
Your
but
mom
it's a
strips at the
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Just in the
you work at.
bathroom.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Actually, yeah.
No.
Just like in the
We'll tell you a
play
story and then I've
showing
got a
titties
question.
to 8-year-olds.
So what the fuck was the Big Mac, that's right. It was at a party and my mum, like my family was there and some other managers were there. And my mum asked one of the managers above me, hey, we need to start wrapping all the burgers again. When I have it in a clam, it's so hard in the box to like eat it when I'm driving. And they're like, you should start wrapping my burgers for me when I come to the drive-through. And like, I'm like, Mum, you're embarrassing me in front of my work colleagues. I'm gonna come to work and they're like, your mum wants your burger wrapped. Well, like that's fucking weird. Your mum's fucked up. It's like I don't want that at work whatsoever. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Mums love to embarrass you. I don't know, but she was being serious. She wanted a burger, like a Big Mac, which is quite like
Did
a
you wrap
big
it for
burger.
her?
No, I
Yeah.
did not. I said, Mum, fuck off to the waiting bay.
Oh,
I'll bring
that's
your burger out when
fucked
it's
up.
ready. No, I don't sweat.
Come on, wrap your mom's burger.
Wrap your
I'm not
bloody
wrapping-
mum's
No.
burger, mate.
No, I'm
Come on,
not
she
wrapping.
wrapped your burger when you were born. All she wanted was her burger wrap.
She got her burger wrapped.
Yeah.
Kudos, you had a question. What was the?
Hold on, just real quick.
McDonald's
Is it
had a
should say Green Bay or Guian Bay?
It says Guian Bay Pickers. Actually, I couldn't actually afford like the real NFL shirts, so I got
Oh,
these
I
from,
didn't
like,
even notice that.
What the fuck?
No, it says-
I thought my brain was breaking before I was like, oh, I guess this must be folded a specific
says-
way.
It says wait, does it? No, it does.
Did you know that?
It actually no.
Guian Bay.
I didn't.
Did you buy bootleg merch and not realize?
I was scrolling through TikTok and there was all these like shirts like $17 like Australian to ship over from the States, and I had to like wash them before I wore them because they were like really itchy. That is so funny.
Guian Bay. Is that like a reference to like The Office or some shit? Like that has to be.
Look, I feel like it's the same thing with like when you buy like. Actually, I remember like one of the cricket games. They couldn't get the license to actually have the actual names of the players. So they had to like shift it. Like it wasn't like Shane Warne. It was like Steve Warren. Or
Sure,
like,
yeah.
like shit like that. Like they couldn't get
That's
the
so
official
weird,
names. Like
yeah.
I didn't notice that actually.
That's fucking
It says
funny.
Pack-
I didn't
It
notice.
says Packers.
It does say Packers, so it's literally just one typo. That's something.
But how do you even hit the I instead of the R? They're not even remotely close to each other.
They're not.
That went through a lot of people. That must be intentional. That must be like a reference to some show or something.
It has to be.
Maybe.
Look it up
Surely.
after this.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
my question was,
yeah.
why do McDonald's bathrooms? Why are they consistently the grubbiest place I've ever been in, and why do I still keep using them?
Question.
So when we train our younger staff, it's supposed to be every 30 minutes or every 15 during busy periods, but that doesn't. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No. But some people are gross. Like some people you might go in there and clean it up, and then like 5 minutes later, somebody comes and goes, "Oh, your bathroom's disgusting," because someone's just left it a mess. I don't understand why like people do that. I've had to clean up. Actually, here's a great story. Someone said, "Oh, I just went to the bathroom and there was I vomited a bit. Like it's not much, but it'll be alright." And I'm like, "Oh, that's alright. I'll clean up for you." I go in there, and then there's vomit on the wall. There's vomit on the side of the stall, on the floor. On like the top as well, near the buttons as well, all over the back, all over the seat, and I look in the bowl, and there's none in the bowl. There's none in the bowl whatsoever.
That's like deliberate.
That's
I feel
like,
like
yeah.
somebody
Surely.
wanted to ruin your day.
I can't remember if I told this on Beef Boys of the Beef, but I went to a bar in town here, and I went to take a piss, and I went to the toilet, and there was like a tiny bit of vomit on like the edge of the seat, but just a little bit, and I was like, "That's weird." Like normally you can tell like someone it's all or nothing pretty much. No one just does like a little bat.
Yeah.
Like it was like, that's odd. But anyway, so I pissed and then went out, and I guess I found out what happened. I guess I started in the toilet and then decided the sink was a better location for it, so they ran out to the sink. And I've never seen so much vomit in one location. But the worst part was, I guess all the liquid had drained out of it. And so it looked like, I'd say, like 2 inches deep of solids. It looked like if you put vomit in a pot and boiled it off till it was just like, but it was like, I just remember seeing it was like that deep, and I was like, some motherfucker, you can't like push that down. Like, there is so much vomit. It's yeah, that was something.
That's fucking horrific.
So,
I remember it was the middle of summer. It was like, you know what? I actually think it was like Australia Day. So I'm getting paid double time for this. So it's cool.
So you
but
better
like a lady came up and said, "Oh, my child vomited in the playland, like up in like the spaceship." And I'm like, "Oh, it's all right. I'll go clean it up." And they're like, "Okay, that's right. We're going home now. Bye." All good. The kid had vomited like half an hour before, 45 minutes before. And okay, first of all, I'm not tall, but I'm quite a lanky man. I don't know why the fuck they got me to do it. It's like, oh, Matt can go do it. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. I had to like climb through, squeeze through, like, you know, like it's for children. And it's what, like like a 30 centimeter gap that I've got to like, a foot gap that I've got to like try and climb through. I get into the spaceship, and it's melted. The vomit has like melted in the spaceship, and I tried wiping it up, and it's so thick, and it smelts so fucking bad. It's so hot.
Yeah, and you can't crack a window in the spaceship.
Oh fuck no! I did vomit like a little bit, like in front of me as well, and I like cleaned up as well.
Yeah, imagine if you cleaned it all up and then vomited up even more.
Yeah.
Oh,
did you have to like did you have to like cordon off the whole kids at play area when that happens, or like?
No, there was other kids we like had to like tell them to go. But like when I was up in there, a kid was like, came up behind me and was like, oh, I'm here to play. And I'm like, hey mate, I'm trying to clean up vomit. You have to go. No, come on, look.
You should have made him do it.
Tell some stories. I should. I've said, look, if you want to be up here.
You want to play a fun game? It's called Collect the Vomit.
I know, and if I'll give you like a bit of candy if you like suck it up as well. Then I don't have to like clean it up myself. It's like no, but it was quite gross. I've cleaned up shit before. I've cleaned up too much.
I've definitely been into some McDonald's bathrooms that look like a state. So I'm so sorry. I've never left any in a state because I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
I was there was one time I took a shit in the disabled bathroom because the other one was full. And the button just didn't work. The button didn't work. And I was going to buy food after, but I'm like, someone has seen me here. So I just like went to like the 7-Eleven across the road. It was just not good. It was just not good. I don't know.
That is true.
I have a question. All this is reminding me. Have you ever considered like pivoting your content to like specifically like McDonald's themed? Like you can do like Survivor content. Like, you know, like some cops, like they'll retire. And then they'll like go on YouTube and be like, my life as a cop. Have you ever thought about doing that, but like as a McDonald's manager?
See, I've thought about no. I haven't.
But think about it. You could start a podcast and call it I don't know.
That's like
Mick Podcast.
That's like one of those ideas that like would definitely work. I can 100% see an audience for that. But then if it takes off, you are now the McDonald's guy, like, and for perpetuity, and you can never transition out of that. Because I've definitely watched like a lot of videos about like, I don't know, just like behind the scenes shit at fast food restaurants, especially like Taco Bell and weird stuff we don't really have here. Especially like on YouTube Shorts, who'd be like, oh, here's how we make the fucking whatever, and it's just some dude on a GoPro being like, you know, pulling out all the little squirt guns they've got and the fucking pushing it down the line and stuff. It's quite interesting seeing how they like put something together really quick like that. So I can see there being that kind of an audience for it. But again, the idea of making your whole YouTube video or your whole YouTube career about being a McDonald's manager, it's such you'd have to keep working there to fuel the thing. Well,
that is true.
Oh, it pigeonholes you, absolutely.
There was that guy who got really big out of nowhere who did the Subway ones. You remember that? It was literally just him recording him making Subway sub sandwiches with a GoPro and just talking about like the best customers he's ever had, the worst customer, this crazy story, whatever. And I think his mum and dad like owned the restaurant, so that's why they let him like record.
Do it,
you know? But he like his videos are getting like 600-700K views like every video, and it was the most basic shit ever, like no custom thumbnail, just like some default picture of him with a sandwich, and it would just be like, who was my worst
like
customer?
Mid-frames,
and
it's blurry.
I mean, I watched like a few of them, so.
But there was a guy who did it with like, it was like frozen yogurt, I think, something like that, and like he took off, and now he's like, rather than still working at the place he's working at, he started his own like franchise. Like he's got like like 2 or 3 stores, all from TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
crazy.
That's how he started that business. Like that is crazy. Like he still does the content still. It's just like you're building something bigger than yourself. Like you can't just keep making frozen yogurt content forever.
Have you considered doing that on TikTok? Like, just you running the McDonald's kitchen?
You like firing kids and shit, like with a GoPro on?
Yes. Screaming at kids like, get back to fucking work, make the fucking burger, you stupid fuck.
You cleaning up children's vomit and feces with a GoPro on?
You know what? I had actually
clean it for you.
I had actually like I'd thought about like I don't know like doing you know what I'd actually thought about doing a video like some sort of like bit of content, and then there was there was
stupid TikTok voice. My life as a McDonald's manager.
there's guys who do. There's a licensee, a guy who like runs McDonald's, and he answers questions, and he's like, "What's it like working at McDonald's?" It's pretty cool. I've been working here since I was like 11 years old, and it's like it's not. I don't know. I don't like that sort of content. That doesn't seem like fulfilling. Like
right.
It's also like it's that weird thing where like imagine you got to like 200K subs somehow, or like that Subway kid, like. You would be making so much more money off YouTube than your job at a fast food restaurant, but you would have to keep working at the fast food restaurant to make content for the channel. Like you would be stuck in that perpetual loop of like oh my god, I'm making all this money off ad revenue, and I've got sponsors asking me to do things and all this shit, and you definitely would not need the money from and it'd be one of those weird things.
See, I feel like I would do something wrong that would get me in trouble with
corporate or whatever. Somebody
important. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Okay, do you like a year ago I did a podcast with Coolio's Coolio. Yeah, like a long time ago, and about 40 minutes after it released, like my boss sent me an email saying like, "I'll just make sure you're not revealing this and that." I'm like, and like took a screenshot. Like there was a screenshot of it, and I'm like, he hasn't gone and watched it. I know that. But somebody I work with has gone, oh, what's Matthew Winter said on this podcast? Because he mentioned McDonald's in like the thumbnail.
Sure, right, yeah.
And they've gone and watched it. And then somebody's ratted on me. They've 100% ratted on me like, oh, he mentioned there's I don't know, that they mentioned something you shouldn't mention. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm scared if I say something, I'm going to get my ass kicked in next, like when this comes out. It's silly though. Like, I don't know. Babies. I don't, look, but then again, I've said like, you know, that sound snippet of me saying I touch children is probably like worse than me. That one right there. It's probably worse than anything I could say about McDonald's. Absolutely.
Is that why you put burger as the Is that also why you put the burger as the thumbnail so that you get that extra view from the narc? You'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want it, but I need the view, so I'll put the burger in and he'll watch the whole thing, scene for when I spill McDonald's, guys.
Just like Gary Vee said, 1 is bigger than 0.
That is
my idol, Gary Vee.
Great job, Gary Vee. You now understand binary.
Hell yeah.
Did you see there was actually I think I put it on Twitter the other day. It was like a really good quote that he put out. Let me just find it because it's like it is so insightful. It inspired me like a lot. Let me just find it.
I don't know fucking anything about Gary Vee except he's like a bit of a grifter.
The name sounds familiar. Who's Gary Vee again?
He's is a businessman. He sells NFTs now.
He's big on the NFT buzz.
He's like he grew a wine business for his dad, and then he like started his own like digital agency, and he did like a daily vlog for like 3 years or some sort of shit, and now he's like
really familiar.
He was on Joe Rogan, if that helps.
That narrows it down. I do lump those two people together in my brain for some reason, so I suppose that makes sense.
Oh, his quote was, "There are worms underneath your skin. You have to take it all off. You have to take it all off. You have to take it all off." And when I read that, I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm so inspired." I know.
Yeah.
That's the best bit. He's a
real visionary. A skinless visionary, in fact.
He because the Tiny Meat Gang, they used to talk like a lot of trash about Gary Vee, and then the other day they had him on the podcast, which was pretty like surreal.
That's kind of that's my dream as well, is just talk shit about people and then they come on the podcast and we just act really nice to them.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was going to bring up. You guys do that with me a lot.
We haven't had you on yet though. You're the exception.
We do need to get you on.
We have actually had talks about that.
We will get you on Beef Boys. We want you on Beef Boys
at some point.
I guess I know that we're getting pretty close to the end of this, but before we go, I do want to say, Matthew Winter, that I we pick on you a lot. You've been the butt of. You do. Come on. Let's be honest.
You talk shit about Riverside. You said like, "Oh, why do you record on that shitty website?" And then you started like yelling like the F word over and over again, like faggot. And just like over. It was like 3 minutes.
Not that F word
straight. No, the other one.
You were saying all like every bad word. It was kind of impressive how fast you can nail them.
So they're like the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. But Matthew, you're the butt of all of our jokes, and
but the thing is, we like butts.
James, yeah, we like butts. I think James was saying this. I forget where. I think it was on Real Weird Sickos, but he was saying that without the Matthew Winter, without the Matthew Winters of the world would collapse. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what he said, but you
die for our sins every day.
Thank you.
I'm like Jesus.
Yeah, you're very Jesus.
You're like Jesus, except
both
I touch
appearance
children.
And actually, before we do wrap up as well, there's one thing I would like to bring up, which Doplex forgot to. Andrew Miller technically won the Twitter poll for replacing your poster, and you have.
Thanks for listening to the On We Talk podcast. I'm your host.
No. We got to hammer this home. Don't even try. Yeah, well, what happened to the poster, Matthew?
It was a good image made by our dear friend Andrew Miller, who is not very, good at computers. So he probably spent a good 10 hours on that at least.
I got you guys talking. I can't actually hear you.
And he won fair and square. Your little bullshit Twitter contest.
You're breaking.
No, come. Oh wait, what would you say, Matthew?
I touch children.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
okay. He does say that.
Children.
Yeah. He does say that. He's saying that right now, actually.
I touch children.
I guess we can't really hear it, but...
I touch children. I'm trying to mouth to it. I touch children.
Yeah, we don't have to mouth to it. You've also just said it for real.
I touch children.
I know.
I touch children.
No, we understand, yeah.
He's not getting the
You don't have to keep saying it.
He's really hooked on this one point for some reason.
I know, he wants us to really understand that.
It's like he's like... He feels guilty and no one's... persecuting him, so he feels like he needs to clear his conscience.
He's trying to
my sins and all that. Touch children. The whole Jesus thing.
Again, very Jesus-esque in many ways.
Yeah.
Oh,
Winter.
The posters are going to happen, because you made a promise.
Yep.
And the thing about the internet is when you put that out there, it never goes away. Andrew Miller won fair and square.
It's gone.
But it's not deleted from our brains though, and in fact, I believe we might have photographic proof somewhere. I could be wrong, but we might.
Yeah,
you guys are gaslighting me.
What we're gonna do is
you're gaslighting me on my own podcast.
Yeah, we're going to gaslight you. We're gonna harass you to no end until you put up those posters. So
just one poster.
Yeah, that one poster that Andrew Miller won fair and square.
Yes, of his beautiful burger Ennui mashup. Burger X Ennui 2022 merch.
Yeah.
Okay, look, hear me out. I will put up the poster for one episode if you have me on the Beef Boys podcast. Deal?
I don't like that. No,
why?
You will put it up permanently.
I make the rules. And then we'll my fucking podcast can't. Sorry, I shouldn't say the word. It's very offensive.
Well... Here's the thing: you did make the rules, right?
You said you
played
said
by your rules.
Yes.
No. My social media manager made the rules. I didn't make the rules.
Who's your social media manager? Come on.
It's just you.
It's just you.
It's not.
You pulled that classic trick to try and drive up engagement on a post of whoever gets the most whatever, and it worked. But the thing is, you can't make a deal with the devil like that and not follow through because the devil always gets his dues.
Exactly.
I don't have enough money to get new poster, guys.
Well, save up.
Really come on! You manage a McDonald's.
No, I help. I'm just a normal guy with a
dream.
$20-something an hour.
Do you live at home?
Look, no, I live with my roommate away from home.
Ah,
I use
get them to pay for it then.
Yeah. No, what could really help me pay for it is if you guys, the listeners, join Ennui Plus on Patreon. Ennui.plus, if you guys head over, exclusive podcasts with behind the scenes, early access. I had to get the plug in. I don't think that's gonna help. Get the you guys guys tired? Are you guys bored?
Yeah,
from
a
this
little
podcast?
bit. Sleepy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of over it.
It's 4:46 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I live a very sedentary
Well, it's almost
lifestyle.
10 o'clock at night for me.
I've been up since 3 a.m. and I'm still fucking rocking. I've done like 6 caps before this episode. I could go for another 20 minutes.
Oh,
You know, that's a long time in podcast land.
It's yeah, I don't have an excuse. I just don't have to put an effort anymore. So I'm just.
Oh, that's right. You're a famous YouTuber. You don't have to fucking try, do you?
Not really.
Like me, who's trying so hard. It's been 7 years.
Yeah, be another 7 if you keep waking up at 3 a.m. I think there's your problem.
I touch children.
It's not a good. It's
I'm elite.
It's the witching hour. That's why you're scared. You're getting haunted.
I'm not scared.
You're getting haunted by bad YouTubers, and that's influencing your content.
You know what? I think I'm gonna end the episode with you guys insulting me. Is there anything you guys want to say before we do sum up?
That kind of sums up my feelings in general. But thanks for having us on, Matthew Winter of the Ennui podcast. It was a lot of fun as always. And
I might get all 4 of you on one time.
That would be what we did. We did do that.
We did do that, and you did cut that out.
Yeah, your recording fucked up, and we lost all that footage.
Yeah.
That was very fun. From memory, it was really funny. Like, we had some really good bits, and I was really bummed out when it got...
It was, and then now it's lost
to the ether because you didn't use Riverside, the best recording software of all time.
That is exactly right. This episode of When We Talk is sponsored by Riverside. Use the code BURGER for 5% off.
Doplex, push every button it wants to play us out.
No, that's not. I've got a theme song playing. There should be a theme song playing in the background.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of his right hand, Duke of Edinburgh.
Thanks for joining us on When We Talk.
Whack that pee-pee.
I'm done. Are we done?
Jamie. Stand up. Damn. She farted on my dick. Damn.
I touch children. That was a good ending. Thanks for joining us, guys.
You're welcome, Matthew. If you need anything else.